Hello, welcome to episode 172 of the Datapack tutorial series, version 1.2.1.4. We're doing data-driven ending credits, part 1. So we're going to keep them a little bit simple at the moment. Let's have a look. Let's pretend this is a big black wall. I'm going to display my credits in front. What we would do is we would freeze the player, and we would start the credits below the player and finish them once they've gone off the screen. Now, for testing purposes, I'm just going to start them here and kill them about here, so it's nice and quick. So let's just run some standard. There we go. Just going to go up like that. You can change the speed, obviously, and when it gets to the top, they'll disappear. Okay, or we can put some gaps in. So we've got line 1, we've got a bit of a gap, and then we've got a bigger gap. Hey, where are you? There you are. Okay, so that's useful if we wanted to do something like this. We can say thanks to, that's our title, and then we have the list of names. Okay, Bob, Julie Who, Dr. Moochin and Pimble, or Pimble did a lot. Okay, so that's it. We kept them simple. We're not changing the colour or anything like that. We're just getting the groundwork laid out. And there's always a chance that someone might say, you could do this a lot better. And I can go, and redo the tutorial before we get too far into it. Okay, so I think let's just get on and build it now. Here we are in VS Code. Let's have a look at the folders and files I've added. So inside my namespace function, I've added the folder credits, and that's where I'm putting my functions, and we're going to use the load and the tick as well. I think we'll start with the load. Okay, let's do the easy ones first, some scores. So this one will just be for storing booleans. I like to have it separate. I'm going to have a scoreboard to store values as well. But I know that inside my Boolean scoreboard, I should only have a 0 or a 1. Because, a true or a false, that sort of thing. Whereas values, we can have any old value in here. So we'll call this one value. There we go. Now let's set up the data. I'm going to start by clearing it. Data remove from storage. ID data, and let's call it credits. And now let's set the data up. I am going to be using my usual little slash to spread things across multiple lines to make it easier to read. Data modify storage ID data credits set value open and close, and inside there, well, we have let's have 3 different types of credits that we can run. We'll have number 1, number 2, and number 3. Now, if we fill this with a load of data, it's going to go across multiple lines and be very hard to read. So let's split this. So this command at the moment is exactly the same as, let's split there, enter, split there, enter, split there, enter, split there, enter. Okay, it's exactly the same as that. All I've done is put it onto multiple lines. So it's going to come along here and it's going to say, oh, continue on the next line. Cool. But easier to read, especially since each of these is going to have an array in it as well. So in here, we're going to have entries. Entries. Okay, and that is going to be an array. And inside there, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 entries. Oh, there we go. And now I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to split this onto multiple lines. Like so. Okay, so we have 1 entry. And I can put different stuff in here. So let's put some stuff in here. So we'll have a delay. Now we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. So the one at the bottom is going to be the first one showed. So let's start at the bottom. We'll have a delay of 0, which means when I press start, it's going to show the first credit straight away. And we'll have text. And the text for that one will be line 1. Okay, now I'm going to copy that. Copy, paste it, paste it, paste it. Now the last one isn't actually used, so I'm just going to delete that one. We do need it, but it's not actually used. Okay, now if I put a delay of 20 ticks, and we can do line 2, and then if I do a delay of, say, 20 ticks, line 3, these will display one after the other straight away. Bang, bang, bang. They won't overlap, If I put it down to 10, it probably would overlap, but we put it to 20, one after the other. And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to separate these lines out, actually, a little bit more. I'm going to keep the entries very separate. There we go. Now I am going to copy this entry here. Copy. And I'm going to paste it over this one. And I'm going to paste that again over that one. So now I've got 3 entries. They're all exactly the same. Let's make them a bit different. So let's say this one is line A, B, C. And let's go for a different delay here. Let's put 40 and 40. Save that. And this one will be our thanks to. Let's do a thank to. That's going to show straight away. Then we'll have a little bit of a gap between thanks to and line 2, and then we won't have a gap between line 2 and line 3. So we'll just put 20. Let's put a couple of names in here: Bob and Job. Thanks to Bob and Job. Okay, that's our data setup. Now, when we run the start, so we start the credits, we'll pass an index and we'll say, okay, use index 1, use these ones, or index 0. Index starts at 0. Use these ones. Index 1, use these ones. Index 2, use these ones. Okay. Save that. Let's get rid of that. Bye-bye. Let's go on to the start. Start. Reset the timer. Okay. So, scoreboard, players, reset, credit, timer, dot value, done. Timer is reset. Copy the credits data. So we're going to go into the data that we've just set, and we're going to make a temporary copy, because the temporary copy we can manipulate, delete, add to, etc. without spoiling our original data. So let's copy the credits data. First, we'll do a little bit of a clear. Data remove. Oh, that's nice. Remove from storage. ID temp current credits. And we'll do a data modify storage. I want temp there, thank you. Temp current credits, and we'll set from storage ID data credits. We'll say 0. We've hard coded the first set dot entries. So with this command, it's going to come in here. It's going to go to 0, and it's going to look inside entries, and it's going to copy all the entries, and it's going to copy them into current credits. Okay, but that's hard-coded. We don't want hard-coded. We're going to pass this an index. So we'll put index there, and we'll say $sign at the beginning. You are using a macro. Save that. We could do a little test, actually. Let's just do, say, index. Save. Okay, let's go back. Let's do a reload function, and then we called that one start. Start. If I do it like that, fail to instantiate, missing arguments. Remember, we have to pass it an index. Okay. Open and close some curlies. Let's say index, and let's say index of 0. There we go. It set the index, and it should have copied them into our temporary data. ID temp current credits. So we did 0. So we've got line 1, 2, and 3. Is that what we had? Oh, hello. Is that what we had here? Line 1, 2, and 3. So if I pass an index of 2, I should get thanks to Bob and Job. Let's try that as well. Let's pass an index of 2 this time. And check. Yeah, we've got thanks to Bob and Job. Okay, cool. Back we go. Get the first entry. Okay. Function. Get entry. With storage. ID. temp credits. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put current credits into credits. Credits dot. So we cleared credits dot. We will now pass credits dot, and we will have access to whatever's in credits. So we'll have access to current credits. The reason I've done that is because I might want to save lots of temporary stuff. So I might save current credits, current index, my name, my shopping list. And then if I want to remove them, I'd have to do data remove ID temp, current index, my shop. I'd have to do them all separately. But if I put them all inside credits, I can just do data remove credits. Let's save that. Okay. Let's go back and do a little test. Check we didn't ruin anything with those changes. So we'll do a reload. We will data get ID temp. We've got current credits. We've got credits. Okay, let's do a bit of removing here and clean this up. Remove from ID temp credits. Remove from ID temp current credits. Let's do a data get. Nothing in there. Okay, let's run the start function. Start with an index of 0. Let's do a data get. Okay, there we go. So what we have, if we have credits and then everything's in there. So if I want to get rid of everything at once, like I just did, I had to do get rid of current credits, get rid of credits. I had to do it 2 times. Don't want to do that. Now I can just say get rid of credits and it'll get rid of everything. Let's go back. Okay, set the credits as running. Okay, we will scoreboard, players, set credits. Credits running seems like a good name. Credits running. That one is a Boolean. We'll set it to 1. The credits are running. Okay. Let's go off to get entry. Let's do get entry. Get entry. Clear the current entry. Oh, we're doing a bit of clearing again. Data, remove, storage, ID, temp, credits, dot, current entry. Let's store the current entry. Data, modify, storage, ID temp, credits dot current entry dot, and we had a delay and we had some text. So we'll get the delay set from storage ID temp credits dot current credits, last one in the list, dot delay. And I copy that. Copy. And we'll put the U down there as well. And we'll get the text as well. Text from text. And we'll remove the last entry. So we've made a copy of this. We've copied it into these 2 separate ones. And now we're going to remove that entry. So when I go to get another entry later, we won't get the same one because it's gone. Data remove, storage, ID temp, credits, dot current entry, no, current credits, current credits -1. Let's save that. Okay. Let's try, have we got anything we can check? Let's have a look. Let's do a reload. Let's start again. Start. Okay. Let's go and do a current. Well, that's not a very good way of typing it. And I've forgotten where we put it. We put it in credits, current entry, text. Let's get the text. Copy. I've got line 1. Okay. Now, if I run the function to get the next entry and then try again, We've got line 2. Okay, so you see there that what we've done is we've gone in and got the last entry, then removed the last entry. So when we've gone back again, we've got the next or the new last entry, and then we remove that. Cool. Okay, so we've got the entry. Let's go off to the tick. So we've set credits running. Process the credits if they're running. So we'll check that Boolean. Execute if score credits running Boolean matches 1. We shouldn't have to say if or higher, because this is that's why I like calling it Boolean, because I know this should be 0 or 1. And in fact, if it's anything other than 1, I'm going to consider it false. I only care if I've set it to 1. Run function, the controller, with storage id temp credits dot current entry. Save that. Let's go off to the controller. Teleport the text up. Okay, we obviously wanted to scroll up the screen, so execute as any entity whose type equals a text display, whose tag equals credit text at itself, run teleport itself up by 0.01. Now, if you want it to go faster, make this number higher. Simple as that. Increment the timer. Scoreboard. Players. Add. Credit. Timer. Value 1. Process if the current delay has reached. Okay, so what's going to happen here is we're going to go up, 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 up. And when we reach, where's my load function? When we reach this delay here, so it's going to go up, and then it's going to go to the next one, and it's going to go to the next one. Okay. Process if the current delay is reached, so this is going to be a macro. Let's do it non-macro first. Execute if score credit timer value matches, let's just put 1 there or higher. Run function delay match. The delays match. Okay, now let's make it into a macro. We've passed the delay to this, so we can here, instead of putting a 1, we will say delay, and at the beginning we'll put our $sign. Remove any credits that have gone off the screen. So this is where I'm going to do a hard-coded check, because I think hard-coded is fine for this. You're not going to be having loads of these credit walls all around the place. Probably just have this one and teleport the player to it whenever you want them to see credits. So what I would do here is I would pick something up quite high. We want it to be off the screen. Something a bit low, so they start off the screen. But, well, maybe you don't. You can pick whichever you want. But for testing purposes, let's just, we'll pick here, say, and here. So let's pick this one. Fill. Let's get the coordinates of that one. So we'll position there. So execute positioned. Oh, okay. We tried. Positioned at the coordinates as any entity whose type equals Minecraft text display, whose tag equals credit text, whose distance equals, gets within, let's say, less than 1 of that thing. Then we will run kill s. Okay, that seems all right. I wonder if that'll do anything yet. Let's have a look. Why not? Oh, we're not spawning anything, so it's not going to do anything, is it? We're not spawning anything in. There's no point checking the data. We've just checked data a few times. So let's go here, delay match. So if the delay matches, we want to do something. Okay, delay match. Spawn the next entry if there is one. Okay, so execute if data storage id temp credits dot current credits. If there's anything in there, run function spawn entry with storage ID temp credits dot current entry. Reset the timer. I think we're actually going to do the same thing again. Okay, let's just check. Execute if, then we'll reset the timer. Scoreboard players. What did we call them? We'll do a reset. What do we call them? Credits timer. There we go. A sensible name to call it. Of value. And now, if there's no credits existing, we will stop the credits. So we'll put that boolean back. So let's just do a check. Execute unless there is an entity, any entity whose type equals text display, whose tag equals credit text. I'd forgotten, but it reminded me. That was nice. Scoreboard objectives players. Set credits running boolean to good spelling of boolean there, Infernal, well done. Boolean to 0. Okay, that's good. And that's good. Let's go off to spawn entry, summon the entry. Okay, so we need to summon a text display. Summon a text display. Let's get the coordinates. Let's hard code this as well. We're just having one text wall. Let's say this here. Fill. Tab, tab, tab. Copy. At those coordinates. We want some information. Tags. What did we call the tag? I've forgotten again. Credit text. Thank you very much. Autofill. And we will say text equals. That's not an apostrophe. Apostrophe, speech marks. I've noticed your little full stop there. You should be a comma. Let's do test. We need an alignment, or I think this will be unhappy. Alignment and set to center. I think we want the billboard, so it's always facing the player, which we'll set to center. And I want a background color. And I want the background to be invisible or transparent, not opaque. So we need to get the number. Now, I got the number just by going to MC Stacker. I clicked on versions to 1.2, 1.4. I went to summon a text display. And here we've got background. And you can put opacity. So now, since we're having an opacity of 0, you can see through it. It doesn't matter what color we pick, so we could just stick with red. I think I went for white, like that, and then I just grabbed that number from up in the corner. Oink, grab that. It's a color, but it's fully transparent, so we don't care what color it is, to be honest. And that's just going to make the background transparent. Save that, and then we'll go off and prepare the next entry. Function get entry with storage. ID temp, credits, save. Okay, let's go back. Let's have a little reload. Let's do the start function. Oh, we hadn't reset the boolean from last time, so it's already going. Off it goes. Yeah, okay. Now, did you stop? I can check that boolean with a tell raw. I know I had one somewhere. Tell raw, there we go. Score, name, credits running, boolean, objective, boolean. Oh, I don't think that's going to work. Its name should be credits running. Credits running is set to 0. Okay, let's do the start function. We got test, and if I do, it's 1 at the moment. Now, it should get too high, and they've all gone. Let's check the score again, and it's set to 0. Okay, but it said test, which isn't what we want. So we are going to have to go into our spawn entry. Well, we don't want to spawn with test. That's why it's not working. We need to spawn it with the actual text. And let's say you are a macro. Save that. Let's go back. Let's do a reload. Let's run it. Line 1, line 2, line 3. Cool. Nice. Obviously, you're not going to want it set this low. Like I say, move the player up to somewhere like here, like that, and then just spawn it just off the bottom of the screen and kill it just off the top. Let's try a different one, though. Let's try index 2. Do we get thanks to and then Bob and Job? Thanks to Bob and Job. Okay, so you can see that gap there between thanks to and Bob and Job. That is being controlled by here. So, first, thanks to, display that instantly. Now we wait 40 ticks, and then we display Bob, so that gives us that gap. And then we wait 20 ticks and display Job. Okay. I think we're done. Yep, that's everything for today. We're going to do another part anyway, because at the moment you can't really do much. It would be nice if we could change their colour, have it bold, italic, and all that sort of stuff as well. Now what we could do is we could have text sort of line 3, bold, true, italic, true, colour, green. I think we could do that. That's no problem at all, because all we would do is we would have all these little values here, and we would use them when spawning the entry. But instead of checking them all separately, I'm going to look into, can we just have that all as one chunk of data and just paste that here over the top? So instead of just doing the text, we just paste it in as one piece of data. I'll look into that myself. Well, let's have a look at what if we change the background, just so you can see. If we get rid of this background thing, which is making it translucent or transparent, let's get rid of that and do a save. And let's go back and do a reload, just so you can see what that's actually doing. There you go. Now you've got your little shadow. Now, to be honest, it doesn't really matter if it's on a black background, because you can't see it very well anyway. But I prefer to sort of get rid of it. Or if you want, maybe you want a colour, so maybe you want it to be, oh, let's have a nice purpley colour. Opacity, no, let's put that straight up. Now we'll grab that new number. Don't forget the minus sign if it has one. And let's put that in there. So background could also be something we could put into the data. We could also put a background in here as well. That could be something else you could control with the data. For now, let's just do a little test to see what that looks like. Probably absolutely awful. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but there we go. Cool. Okay. So we've created some credits. We've got 3 sets of credits. We can pick which one we want to display just by doing the index. And then it will display them. And then once it's finished displaying them, it should set the Boolean back to 0. It's now back to 0, which means in the tick function, all we're doing is checking a score. So when the credits aren't running, we're just checking a score, which is, it doesn't take much to do to check a score. It's not expensive at all. So although that is running all the time, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now, if you've got any improvements for it, I'm sure there's something that can be improved. Since we're waffling, we might as well carry on. Because at the moment, you notice that I've got this unused one here. If we take away that unused one, it won't display this one. Why don't I take it away and show you? Let's take away. So we got line 1, line 2, line 3. Let's take away this line. Now we can do this just by removing the line. There we go, like that. Save. That's why I like laying things out using these slash. It makes it so much easier. I was trying to record this yesterday and just for some reason I just could not. As one person pointed out, too many tards. And by that we mean a misspelling of the word trades, not the offensive nickname or slang word. Okay, let's go and reload that. And let's do a start with 0 index. And we'll get line 1, we'll get line 2. And because of the way I've set the commands up, that's it. That's all it's going to show you. So what we do is we pop in that little blank one like that. Save. Okay. Reload. Last one. Off you go. Line 1, line 2, line 3. We're done. I squeezed in a nice little bit of waffling at the end. Anyway, we'll come back to this and make it a bit nicer. And again, if you've got any improvements for me, let me know. Always happy to learn more. Cool. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. And bye-bye.